So once you have got your form set up just the way you want it, the next thing you're going to do in order to run autoCrat so that it will merge documents and email it to you if follow-up is needed like I have, is you're going to click on this responses section of your form and you're going to click on this icon for spreadsheet. And what that will do is create a spreadsheet for you of all your responses. Let me try that again. There we go. And you'll notice that each of your questions that you asked are now headings for each of your columns. So the next thing you're going to do is we are going to run the add-on for autoCrat. If you have never gotten autoCrat before, if you've never used it before, you're going to choose Get Add-ons, and then you will add autoCrat. If you already have autoCrat, it's my computer's still thinking about it here. But once it finishes setting up, then I'll be able to run autoCrat and show you how to set it up. So I'm going to launch autoCrat. The first thing autoCrat is going to do, it takes it a while to load. The first thing it's going to ask me is to name my merge job. This name doesn't matter. It's not going to show up anywhere. It's just to help you in case you have multiple merge jobs in one document. I'm going to name this the Paperless contact log because that's what we're talking about today. So I'm going to do a new job and I am going to name it the Paperless contact log. And then I'll hit next. The next thing it wants me to do is select a template that it will merge to. So I've already created that template. If you hadn't created it yet, it gives you that option of create right now. I want to show you what I've created. It's just a simple Google Doc. It says follow-up needed as the title. Then I've got day, time of original contact. And then I'm using greater than, less than signs 2 times each to tag the spot where I'm going to merge that data. The name of these doesn't matter, but if you get it exactly right, autoCrat can help you a little bit, and I'll show you what I mean in a second. But if you don't get it exactly right, it's okay. This is just to help you line things up. So I do want the timestamp. I want the date and the time that I hit submit on that form. Then I'm going to have student name, and right below it, the actual student's name that I enter in the sheet is going to show up where I have that tag with greater than, less than signs. I typed in guardian name, then I typed those tags and guardian name, phone number, a tag for phone number, and follow-up needed, and the tag for my follow-up. So if I go back over to the spreadsheet, I'm going to select from Drive because I've already created that document. And sometimes it pulls it up because it knows what I'm thinking about. It knows what I worked on last. If it doesn't, I can just search for that follow-up document. And there it is. And I'll select it. And autoCrat right now says no template selected because it hadn't found it yet, but now it's attached. So I can say next. Next, I typed timestamp in my tag exactly the same as way over here, the exact way that it's written in the heading of that column. And so autoCrat figured out she probably wants timestamp here. Where she put student name, she probably wants student name because it's exactly the same. But here on guardian name, it's not sure what I was thinking. And so I have to just click down and it'll show me all the column headings. Well, the actual column heading is guardian called, but that's what I meant. So I can say everywhere it places guardian name, I want you to type what I answered to the question guardian called in the form. For phone number, I want that to map to phone number called. For follow-up, I want that to map to what follow-up is needed, what I typed in. Next, file settings. Each time it merges, it's going to create a document. And so I want that document to give me the student name, and I am going to make sure it matches this column heading exactly. Student name, follow up on, and I'm going to give the timestamp so I know if I come back in my email that I'll find that document and know exactly who it was and what day. If I do a Google Doc, I can go back and update it and change it. I just want it to make a PDF though, because if I'm going to change anything, I'm going to change it in my master spreadsheet, and I want to choose multiple output mode. Next. It says, where do you want all of those merge files? Every time you hit submit on the form and it makes that merge document, where do you want us to store them? It automatically chooses the folder that you're housed in. If you want another folder, you can just choose that folder here. So I'm going to go next. I don't need step 6 for this. I do need a merge condition because I don't want this to run every time. I only want it to run if when I click on follow up needed, let me try again, follow up needed. Oh, I forgot to hit add condition. When I choose that follow up needed says yes is when I want this to run. So it says at the bottom, only rows that meet the above condition will be merged. So if no follow-up is needed, if follow-up needed equals no, or I don't answer that question, it's not going to merge the document because my phone call was done and I'm done. But if follow-up is needed, it will merge and then email me. And we're going to talk about the email in the next step. Share docs and send emails? Yes. I want to send a PDF specifically to myself, Meredith Akers, and I want the subject to be follow-up needed. I don't even need a message, but I could type a message here. I can even use tags in the subject and in the message if I have a message to myself, but it's going to attach everything I need. So that's all I need. Next, do I want to run the form on a trigger? Yes. And I'm going to say yes. I want it to run every time I hit submit. And that's really all I need to do is say yes. So every time I hit submit, I want it to run this autoCrat merge and test and see if it's needed. And then I'm just going to hit save. To test this out, once it finishes saving, I'm going to go over to our form and try it out. Okay, so there it is. It's ready. If I need to come back and edit it, I can click here to edit that job. I'm going to hop over here and send it. This is just for me, so I'm just going to copy the link for filling out the form. And I'm going to fill it out. I'm going to say that I'm the student and I called my husband at this number and our notes were here. And I'm going to say, yep, follow-up is needed. Did our test run work? We're about to find out. So once I hit submit, when we go back over to our spreadsheet, I'll close out autoCrat. We should start to see a couple things happen within the next few seconds. We've got our information already populated that I just entered. But what will happen next, it's already happening, is autoCrat starts to run for us. And it's going to actually give us even a link that we can click on to see the merged document. So right now it's running through autoCrat and it's probably testing, do I need to create this document? Did follow up say yes? And yes, it did. Now, if I check out this merged document, I can see it did create it. Did our test run work? Yes, it did. And I'm getting an alert on my phone right now that I just got a follow-up needed email. So that is how you set it up to get that email with autoCrat. Hope it was helpful. If you need any more help with that, please contact me.